Did you know that for this movie, Sam Worthington, who is Australian, said in an interview that it was easier for him to master the Na'vi language than the American accent? It's been a minute since I've seen Avatar. I've seen it a few times, and it's just one of those movies I like going back to just to marvel at really what James Cameron did to the movie experience, movie going experience, and really just groundbreaking technology to create Avatar, to create Pandora. And it was really nice getting back into this movie and really just trying to experience this movie for the first time again. I have three things about this movie that I liked, and my last thing is definitely my favorite. First thing I liked is the world building and the Na'vi world building, the absolutely breathtaking beauty that the world of Pandora is all about. Really get lost in it, an immersive experience, almost like you wanted to be on Pandora yourself. You wanted to go on these hunts and climb all these tall trees and the floating mountains, and you wanted to experience everything that Jake Sully and the Na'vi were experiencing. And then the Na'vi, the creation of everything about them, it was from scratch. I mean, there are some inspirations into the Hindu religion and Christianity, but also the language is probably the most impressive thing about the Na'vi. This language was created from scratch. There's 1,000 words that have been created for this language, and you can actually, if you really want to learn Na'vi, you can. There's a few apps out there that you can download and can learn Na'vi, and apparently you can learn in about 3 to 4 months, just like Klingon and Dothraki. Now we have another language you can add to the fictional languages that you can actually learn how to speak Na'vi. I think that'd be really cool. I might actually check it out myself. Second thing I loved about this movie, the performances were really great. I always love the performances. There's a lot of great actors in this movie, and each one really dives deep into their character. But the performance I liked the most was Sam Worthington's performance of Jake Sully, and he actually gets a really beautiful character arc. That's one of my favorite things about Jake Sully's character in this movie is the character arc, the character development he goes through. He really has like a life-changing, a heart transformation. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever experienced something like that where you go into something with one plan and one goal in mind, and you come out and you're completely changed by someone or something or an experience. When it comes to like a different culture, maybe you don't really care much for the culture, or maybe you're just not interested. Things start rubbing off on you, and then you end up, you end up thinking, okay, the reason I went into this was not a very good reason at all. Like, what was I doing? I was limiting myself to exploring something, to finding something within myself that needed this, because Jake Sully's character really. He never believed in himself. Like, the whole thing is, like, he never saw himself as a leader. He never believed in himself of doing anything, capable of doing anything great, because he constantly compared himself to his twin brother, who the Avatar was made specifically for. Everyone was so invested in his brother, and now he's like, oh, well, I guess we'll take the runner-up. Like, he's not treated with a lot of respect. He's looked down upon. There's a lot of pressure that's on him. He just wants to make Colonel Quaritch and everyone else happy. He doesn't want to step on any toes. He'll use the Na'vi for his own gain, and that's it. I don't know what it is. It's just that immersive world he enters, the spiritual realm he enters, but he's that special someone who can transcend both the human world and the Na'vi, and I think that's what makes his character so special, is he's almost unnatural at it. Like, he's actually very natural at it, and he just needs some encouragement. He needed someone to believe in him. And that goes into my favorite scene. And I think the scene in the movie that really solidifies the amazing character arc and the transformation that Jake Sully has gone through is when he makes that big, bold move to go after Taruk. Because at that point, nobody cares about him. He's left for dead. Humans don't care about him. The Na'vi don't care about him. The love of his life doesn't care about him. Like, he is utterly and completely alone, and he has to do something to gain their respect. I think in that moment he really realized that he had the potential. Like, he can be a leader. He can be great. Who cares about his brother? It's his life. He has to live his life. He has to take the chances and risk it all. He has to make that one crazy move, and he did. And he gained the respect of the Na'vi people again, and he won his woman back. In that scene where he makes that amazing speech inspiring everyone. It's in that moment where you see the final transformation of he's finally letting go of his human side. He's finally letting go of all the crap that has been drilled into his head from his planet and his people, and he's embracing a better way, a higher path, a more noble, moralistic path. He is born again. They talk about the idea of being born again. Once again, very lots of religions out there, Christianity and all these other religions, being born again. He was born again in that moment. It was his spiritual rebirth, and that's what makes that scene so beautiful and my favorite scene. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen Avatar in a while, check it out again. It is such an amazing movie. So for Avatar, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up and drop in the comments below. Who's your favorite Na'vi? See you soon.